يقول الله عز وجل في كتابه الكريم بعد أن أقول أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم وتولى عنهم وقال يا أسفا على يوسف وابيضت عيناه من الحزن فهو كظيم قالوا تالله تفتأ تذكر يوسف حتى تكون حرضا أو تكون من الهالكين قال إنما أشكو بثي وحزني إلى الله وأعلم من الله ما لا تعلمون رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي اللهم ثبتنا عند الموت بلا إله إلا الله اللهم اجعلنا من الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر آمين يا رب العالمين. Today's khutbah is focused on 3 ayat of Surah Yusuf. Surah Yusuf is of course one long story account of the events that took place in the life of Yusuf alayhi salam. And this is much later in the story, so I'm going to fast forward to the part that, just to give you some background of what these 3 ayat have to do with before I talk about the lessons that come from them. This is a part of the story where Yusuf alayhi salam has been separated for some time from his family. He was thrown into a well. From there ended up being a servant. From there, falsely accused, he ended up in prison. And from there, he's also been released from prison now, and he serves as a minister. Essentially, you can call him a minister of finance, Aziz, that's taking care of the budget and the economic crisis that's happening in the country. So he's in a position of power now. And in that position of power, because there's a famine, all the villages, all the surrounding areas, they don't have any food. So they all come to the kingdom to receive their quota of food. It's basically a kind of welfare system now. People don't have enough money anymore, so they have to come to the government and they'll supply them food for each household. And the rule was, you have to bring all the main members of your family so that we can know, the government can know, these are how many bags we're supposed to give. You can't come, I got 6 brothers at home, could you give me 7 bags? You can't do that, you have to bring all the brothers with you so they can verify that this is actually the right amount that's being given. Especially in a time of crisis, you can't have people taking more than they deserve. So the brothers of Yusuf, including the youngest one, are now called to receive their share of the food, and they've come, and Yusuf alayhi salam recognizes them while they don't recognize him. And so he hashes a scheme to keep his brother with him. He basically, essentially, what you can call falsifies evidence, puts one of the golden cups inside one of the bags, and then accuses them, you people have stolen from the king. And then when the case comes out and the bag comes out, now this youngest brother is being held under house arrest. So the rest of his brothers have gone back to the dad. And now 2 of them are together. Yusuf and his brother are together. They think he's been arrested. What's really happened is Yusuf just wanted to keep him with him. That's what was really going on, alayhi salam. In any case, this is a scene of when these brothers went back to their father. This is the second time they're going back to their father. The first time they went back to their father, they lost Yusuf. And they lied about it. They said a wolf ate him. The second time they took the youngest brother, and now they say, well, he got arrested. So this is the second time they're going to their dad, and they're going to give him the same news they gave him so many years ago. We've lost another son. You've lost another son of yours at our hands. And so when he hears this news from them, this is where I'd like to begin, is what was the reaction of Yaqub alayhi salam. Before I go to the reaction of Yaqub alayhi salam, you should understand that the beautiful words in the Quran, sabrun jameel, beautiful patience, or finding beauty in patience, is an expression that is attributed directly to Yaqub alayhi salam. So he in the Quran is actually a model for what does it mean to show patience, and what does it mean to show patience beautifully. He's a model for that. Being a model for that in the Quran, I want you to pay attention, and myself to remind myself, what is his reaction when his sons tell him, Binyamin is also gone. He's not coming back either. He says, Allah says, وَتَوَلَّى عَنْهُمْ. He turns his back away from them, meaning he turns away from his sons. وَقَالَ يَا أَسَفَا عَلَى Yusuf. He calls out, my poor Yusuf. What a horrible tragedy has fallen upon Yusuf. Wait, it wasn't Yusuf that was taken away. It was Binyamin that was taken away. Yusuf was taken away many, many years ago. But they say in Arabic, al-asa yab'ath al-asa. One tragedy sparks the memory of a previous tragedy. He's reliving the crisis of Yusuf in his heart. And this is many, many, many years later, which tells you he's not over it. Before we go any further, we have to understand what we do to each other. Somebody has a crisis in their home. Somebody has a tragedy, maybe a loss of a child, a loss of a parent,